Connor, welcome back, good sir. How you doing?
Good, Scotty. How are you, mate?
I probably shouldn't have called you sir. That's probably offensive to people that are called sirs. All right. How's the week been so far on the weekend?
Yeah, look, it's been good. Looking at the charts today, though, not a lot has happened. I'm sure you can agree with that. If you look at any of the major pairs, there has been a lot of movement.
Yeah, good point. Yep.
I'm currently interested in the USD Hungarian Forex, Scotty.
And we've come prepared, viewers, as well. So we've got that up. And the two red lines here, you can see that top one I'm pointing at now with the mouse cursor is the pending stop loss. And this is the entry here. So it hasn't quite triggered yet. On my charts, it looks like it's getting close to it, but
it's looking like it might touch, but there's still a little bit left in the trading day, so we'll see what happens. But what was attractive to me with the trade, Scotty, if you press your line chart,
we've got it up. Yep.
Well, you can see that there was a nice bend off it.
Yes. So I'm just highlighting that now, guys. So you see that's what's key here. And it's sort of, on the line chart, it's a little bit of a bounce. But like you said, the candle's still got time to form. So it's an interesting, I like it. I mean, there's obviously a bit of a gap. But
which that's attractive to me too, though, the gap.
Yeah.
What I liked about it, though, is around the 284.85 mark is where it just broke through that little bit of resistance, about 4 candles.
Yes.
5 candles before it.
Yeah.
And so it broke through that. And if you look further on around the chart, it doesn't. If that does trigger, it doesn't have any resistance to bump into.
No, you see that's right, guys. So that's important to remember. You want a bit of space to the left, and in this case, there's definitely that present as well. So that's just a general. No matter what system you have, if you're trying to go long or go short, it's handy to have that there. And like, there's a lot of potential for the downside. So that is that would be an attractive little trade as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course you're going to do the disclaimer before we go any further.
Yeah, that's right, guys. So just having a look at the charts, you want to understand that Forex is very risky. You can actually lose more than your initial investment. So it's important to remember that this is just a general advice topic. And we're just showing you how we view the charts and the markets, and it should be taken just, again, not as professional financial advice. And if you do want to get involved in trading, it's a long, slow process. I would recommend, like Connor and I use Naked Forex now as a great way to learn how to trade. Everything's there and available, and you're in a network of traders that a lot of them actually trade live money, real money, and a lot of them are professional traders. And so don't just jump into the markets blindly listening to this advice. No, we're not saying to do that at all. So please be careful, demo, test, and back test like we've shown you in our previous video, and just be very careful and just don't.
And eat your vegetables and say your prayers.
Exactly. And you'll grow tall. I didn't grow tall, but that's all right. Waller's not tall either, apparently. So okay. All right, we're just going to bring up the other charts here. I've got what do you want to have a look at next, Connor? You've got a couple of open positions as well.
Go the Euro Hong Kong.
I brought that up as well. That was
door number 4.
Oh. All right, so I've got the mouse cursor on the 11th candle here, and that was your trigger candle as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, the big bullish engulfing candle there. That was my trigger candle off the support and resistance zone, which I've got drawn in at about 8.21.
Yep. And I've got that up here.
If you put the line chart on, you'll see that there's a nice bend there for me. And it's not going too badly. I mean, I've moved my stop loss up to 8.399. So I'm currently in profit.
Very nice.
Which on this thing is about 5,000 pips or something huge, but compared to other currencies.
And there's a bit of spread as well on this pair, I'd imagine.
Yeah, there's like 13 pips or something. It wasn't ridiculous. It's not like the Scotty, which is like 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not too bad. So
Yeah.
So this is an successful trade, guys. So I'm just highlighting again on the line graph what kind of look for, and that bounce that occurred, and you just, once you're in a trade, it's important to let it do its thing. But once it's done enough, you want to lock in some profits, kind of. So when did you move the stop loss? How does it work?
So if you look to the side, you'll see like a kangaroo tail, like all the way to the side. There's a zone around there. The zone I've got drawn in is at like 8.40.
Yep.
Something like that. And so once it busts through the zone, and it busted through the zone over the weekend when it gapped out.
Yep.
So once it goes through the zone and the candle finishes for the day, I'll put my stop loss under the zone. So the next one, if the candle closes above the next zone, I've got it 8.500. So if it closes above that, then I'll move my stop loss just below that, and that's just your standard zone exit.
Okay, guys, it's just that simple, and that's probably an important thing to note, is that it's not overcomplicated. And a lot of people obviously will want to move the stop loss too early, and it's really important not to do that, because you want to win more money than you lose. And so it's important to do what you've done in your back testing and not just manipulate things and close out early, which is a very common thing. I used to do it as well. So it's just important to be patient and let things develop. And normally you're rewarded for being patient as well. All right, Connor, we'll go. Is it the USD Swedish krona as well? Is that still?
Yes, we just talked about that briefly. We've talked about, these are the last two that we've talked about.
Yeah.
We've been talking about in our previous podcast with what I'm in. And you can see it's still going sideways, Scotty. So not a lot going on there.
No.
I haven't locked in any profit, so I'm not saying I'm profitable until I lock in profit.
Yep.
It's got the zone. Is at 8.721, so if it closes below that, I'll be able to lock in some profit there.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of I guess things are slow as well when it comes to, obviously this pair is a little bit unique, and well, who knows? I mean, the US dollar seems to be strengthening a little bit again after the Obamacare thing didn't get kicked out, so no one wants to help Trump out, which is pity. But anyway. Gosh, how about we bring in the Euro NZ? All right, guys. So this isn't an actual open position. I don't have any trades that I've actually got open right now. But what I want to talk about is why I didn't get into this position as well. Okay, so it's a Euro NZ daily for anyone playing at home. Okay, it's hiding somewhere. Do you have that up there, Connor? Okay. Seemed to be. I'll open it up. It was up before, but I opened up my other charts, because normally, guys, I trade with an indicator, Hush Shutter. If you do follow the Naked Forex Now forum and you watch these videos, so I do actually trade with that normally. It's got to be somewhere. It's hiding somewhere. But if you can see the position, Connor, it's just not done enough yet when it comes to, and what we will discuss here, guys, as well, is when a trend has sort of established itself enough to want to, get into that, and jumping in too early, it's just gone missing off my charts. What I'll do is, guys, quickly, we'll open up the NZ yen, because that's a lot more in my favor when it comes to a potential setup. So I've got the daily up here. So I trade the dailies, and what I'm looking for here is this blue line is a 20-day moving average. And what I'll want it to do is, it has gone down. I'm pointing to, we've got the current candle, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the 6th candle. That was actually a sell signal on the system
that's a big shadow right there.
Yeah, and when it's a big shadow, when it's an actual good price action as well combined with the signal that I get to sell, it really helps probability of it actually being, and you can see what's happened. It's driven down. So what I missed that, obviously. I think, when was that? That was on the 21st of this month. So, and a common thing is, guys, if you miss something, you want to get in after, and don't ever do that. So you can't just play catch up with the markets. So it's very important that you establish your rules and you don't just go in and go, oh, it's fine, I missed that, but I'll just get in now and do a market buy or a market sell. And it's really important not to do that, because what will end up happening is you'll not follow your rules, and then you'll lose, and then you won't know when to win again, because the system isn't something you've tested. So that can really end up being very detrimental to and then you go from one system to the other system, and it ends up in a big cycle of doom, like Walter's taught us, and it's just terrible, really. Oh goodness. So what I'd be looking for here is, guys, so yes, it's gone down, but what we want is a little bit of a retracement up, and then we want it to get close to the 20-day moving average again, and then to come back down again. So that probably won't happen this week. So that's really the only thing that I'm sort of interested in. So the reason why I'm interested in it, you've got a couple of falls. So the initial fall was, you see where it's going sideways there, Connor, and where it makes it the initial dive down out of that consolidation.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yes.
So I count that as 1. And then it goes down and it comes back again, and that's 2. So on the second occasion, I'll probably get into that normally. I wasn't paying much attention. I think that's when I had the 2 positions open on the Aussie NZ and the Aussie CAD. So I think I just missed that entirely, because I was, they were both winning and I just wasn't really paying attention, which was a bit silly, but that's something to look out for. So you don't want to get in too early, because what will happen is it could have continued on with a consolidation. So it's important to let it play out, prove it to you that, the sellers are in control again, so to speak, and then let the buyers be, faked out, so to speak, as well. And then again, that's when, everyone gets their stop losses hit when they're trying to buy, and it just starts to fall completely. And that's when a trend starts developing, and that's where you can really secure a nice little runner, which is sweet. I mean, as you would agree, Connor, that's always the best feeling, when you get a nice little runner with no risk on or anything like that. That's just...
Yeah, well, I don't have profit targets either, Scotty, so that's really what I'm looking for, a runner. Whereas in you use a 1R, don't you?
That's right. So that's another good point. So some people use, a particular target, and others don't, and they just trail it. But, so I do 0.5% on the 1R, and then the remainder 0.5% I use on the trailing exit. And I will say, I'm going to start trying to bump that up to a 2%. So it's going to be a 1 and a 1, because, if it's great to get a 1% at least on a runner, and you can get, 2 or 3% out of the trade. That's, a really nice, even, I mean, do you only do 2%, Connor? Have you played around with any?
2%, and then I have a maximum of 6%. So I can be in 3 trades with the potential to lose 3 trades.
Yep.
But, I mean, like I said, how often am I in 3 trades where I'm risking 6%? I'm not sure if it's even happened yet. That's just been my rule.
Yep.
That I've put in place.
And that's important.
Yours is 4%, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yep. And if I lose, then I have a week off, and I continue to back test as well. So that's correct. Yeah. So that's important to know, people that are watching this, is that you have to have limits, because you just don't want things to spiral out of control with your losing trades. And if there's no limits set,
especially with heavily correlated pairs, then you can really get stung.
Yes, so that's right. So if you've got a couple of similar pairs, like you said, kind of that are correlated, it can really, you can start losing very quickly if one position turns against you, and then the others will follow. So, and that can be very frustrating, and then that leads to revenge trading and everything like that. So yeah. What was there anything else on your watch list, Connor? Or there's just
No,
it's just slow, isn't it?
I've just been interested in Twitter with all the binary options that people who have been adding us, Scotty.
Yes,
That's what I've just found amusing.
I look. This might be an interesting topic to bring up. So we've looked at the charts, guys. So now just a little bit of a final little. I don't know if people would call it funny. Some people might not call it funny if they've lost. I'm sure people have lost a lot of money on binary
Yeah,
options.
well, there's a few people who we're following us about binary scams. You know, people who have been scammed by specific institutions.
Yes, I noticed that.
Slagging them, yeah.
All right, okay.
Which I think is great.
So we've got this is our handle, guys, at Trade Talk Pippin. I've got it up. And thanks to everyone who's decided to follow us. And I hope, we do put the videos up a lot, but we're just trying to get as many people involved in the community as possible and, support the YouTube channel as well. If that takes off, that's just going to help Connor and I just put out more and more videos. And maybe one day we'll make so much money out of it that we won't need to work. And actually, I had a look at Walter, and he doesn't even have a lot of. And what I'll do as well, guys, is I'll open up my. All right, so that's this. I'll be back testing. So this is what it will look like, and what I'll do is I'll open up the YouTube channel as well, and I'll just for the people that are really interested in learning how to trade. Connor and I do a lot of back testing. Okay, so it's very important to understand the importance of that. So I'll bring up the YouTube channel. It's loading. There we go. Sorry for the slow internet, everyone. We'll conclude this very shortly. We like to keep it to 20 minutes or less, but I'll just bring up the channel. So this is where you can find where I back test the naked charts, and this is similar to what Connor does as well. So right here, and then what I do is I have the recorder running when I'm actually doing it, so you can get an understanding of what to look for, and it's a great learning tool. But how's your back testing going, Connor? What's the week looking like for you?
I've just done a little bit. Scotty, I did about a half an hour the other night because I've got my assignments and stuff going on at uni at the moment, so I'm concentrating on that at the moment.
Yes.
So I haven't been putting in hours and hours like I have in the past. Like 8-hour days.
I'm keeping it to 6 months a day right now, and that seems to be not too bad. So that's about an hour still, though. But I mean, even Connor, with all the things that he's doing, guys, you can still make it work. And as long as you do a little bit every day, it adds up to over a year or so. That can really improve your ability to see markets, movements and pattern recognition. So it's a valid thing to do, really. All right. Anyway, Connor, do you have anything in closing to sum up for tonight's episode?
No, I thought it was quite educational tonight.
It was, wasn't it? Look, and I hope other people. What we might do, guys, is just with the Twitter activity, and that's linked to our email account. We might have to adjust that because whenever we get a notification, it's sent to that email address. And how many? You have a lot to sift through, Connor, I'm imagining.
Yes. Yeah, everything that goes through there. So we'll work that out. But you can contact us on Twitter. You can message us, and we're more than happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Just do that. Do it through there instantaneously, and we check it all the time because we're big on making sure we keep those followers coming through. And if we can get 2,000 by the end, it's slowed down a little bit, but we'll keep on posting the videos, and we'll be spreading the knowledge and teachings that we've learned, and hopefully it gets to the right people and it helps. But and just be careful of binary options, everyone. Don't get suckered in, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks again, Connor, for taking your time out of your day and speaking for us.
Thank you, Scott.
It's always, as always, it's been a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, never a chore. You know.
All right. Excellent. Thank you, Connor. Have a good night.
Okay. Take care, mate.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.